Greetings, Internet, and welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. This will be episode 57 of my playthrough. I double check, yeah, 57. My playthrough of Into the Woods by GMT Games, which is the Battle of Shiloh. In the previous two episodes, we had Clark's division of Polk's Corps hitting the Union right, no, left. Union left to right, depending on where your position is on the board. And I'm sitting from the bottom, so look, yes. Anyway, Union left. And this video, we're starting with Sherman, or what's the remains of Sherman's division on the Union right, Confederate left. This is actually Sherman's fourth activation, so I can't see much actually happening with Sherman himself. So it might be the next check after that, but who knows? Let's go down to the map and have a look what's going on. Hey, well, if we actually zoom in a little bit here, Sherman doesn't have a lot left. McDowell, I think all of his units have got. Oh, let's have a closer look. We can look at the Union order of battle. Let's bring that up. Okay, this is the route box. So just zoom in a little bit on there, just on Sherman's division itself. Okay, not many units are actually left on the map. So McDowell, who's the first brigade of the 5th Division, 3 units routed. I think Hildebrand back over here, who is the 3rd Brigade, 3 units routed. And we come back down here, Buckland, who is let's make sure he's the right 4th Brigade of that division, 2 units routed, 1 unit still on the map there. We have some artillery, we have some cavalry, and we have Stuart's brigade, which is the 2nd of the 5th Division. They've already had 2 activations, and they're only allowed a maximum of 2 activations until they're back under the command of Sherman directly, which we've been trying to get towards. So they're not activating either. So there's not a lot to actually activate, per se. This bunch of lads here, McClellan's, they are part of the 1st Division, so they're obviously not under his command, so they're not activation, but they're going to be what we're going to have to put Sherman's units adjacent to. So we need to form some form of line here to protect Marsh's flank, because you can see Ruggles has a potential outflanking that position. So there's cavalry. They had 1 activation. They can activate now. So they're going to need to form up around this area as well. And that's what we're going to do. Now, McDowell, no troops. He's under attack orders. I don't think there's any point changing his orders. Well, actually there is, isn't there? Because he can still move. He's got to get back to start trying to rally some of these guys, which are all off board, of course. So that's the first step, is changing orders. So let me just bring up my little chart for this. I'll tell you what, let's bring it up for you guys too. Why not? Share and share, shall we? There we go. It's down the bottom there. So that's the short resolution. Boom, boom, boom. Brigade orders change. All right. So, Buckland, he's the one that's actually got a unit on the board. We need, what's his modifier? Buckland himself, he's got the 0 modifier. That's that little white number there. He's not stacked with his divisional leaders, so there's no modifiers whatsoever. So high is good. 5. Change and stand. So he's at least got that stops being attack. Yeah, I being informed by Others that probably know more about this system than I do, that maybe they shouldn't have been under attack orders. I thought it might have been the best thing to defend it. Now, change and stand, I presume, means they can't, regardless of the result, the units of the brigade may not move this phase. So he can't move. Does he want to move? He probably just wants to rally anyway. Um, and the guns. Right, so McDowell's under attack orders. So we'll try for him, even though he's got no units. 4. Which says loose cannon. He's cautious. Okay. So that means, well, what does that mean? C 6.24. I think that means he'll probably, well, he's got to move back. Oh, I better check. Typical, isn't it? Okay, so they can go into advance orders. It says all the units have got to fall back. Well, he hasn't got any units, so okay, that's those two. Stuart, he's under advance. I think we'll keep them there. They can't move anyway. And then Hildebrand, he's under advance, so that's fine. Okay, so that's the order changes. Oh, the cavalry are under attack. Now we want to change them as well to advance. That's 6. That's fine as well. So let's flip that. Ooh, not to march, to advance. There we go. Because we want to get them in and around this area. So we're now going to do Buckland, who has got 1 unit. This will be his 4th activation, but it will not include any fatigue because they're not moving. So I can remove that, can't we? Give me his 4th activation shit. And then we can try and rally them. So their morale is 5. It's not bad. Buckland himself gives them +1, but there's the -1 for the Union at this time of the day. Or they rally. So let's flip them over. Ooh, where am I? I'm done. There we go. Right. Delete that. Okay, these guns of Sherman's, they've got no actual targets at the present moment. I think they'll be probably feeling a lot safer. What's the size of that gun? Oh, it's a big regiment. Yeah, no, they can't stack with the regiment. There's too many of them. Okay, I just checked. The artillery can stack with that regiment. There's allowed to have 1 regiment of any size, plus up to 6, or 1 battery, up to 6 points of artillery. So I think that might be the safest place for them to be. And McDowell will stack with them as well. So there we go. Get rid of that. Get rid of that for the moment. Just tidy this blinking hex up a little bit. Oh, right. Okay. With Buckland and Sherman. There we go. Right, we're going to move the cavalry over to along here. So that's 2, 3. Let's change their facing a little bit. 4, 5, 6. There we go. And then this boy will go 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Be there under advance, and that's their second. Oh, why does it have to do that? All right, that's their second activation. Get rid of that. Okay. And Sherman's done with that. With him moved. Right. Different brigade. McDowell. Okay, so Lee's got 10 movement points. He needs to get out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hindman's far enough back. Yeah, he's far enough back at the present moment. And I say Stuart here, unfortunately, can't do anything because he's had his maximum 2 activations. So, in actual fact, that is Sherman done. That was short and sweet, wasn't it? Okay, so let's bring up the draw pools. Put Sherman there, ready to be moved. And who have we got next? Unassigned. We've got some artillery that can use the unassigned. So that's over here somewhere. Okay. Okay, the only really unassigned units is some artillery. So we're looking at here and here. So where do we want to bring those? Well, I think they're still going to be needed on the Union right. So let's bring them across. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 to get onto the actual, is that a road or a trail? It looks like a trail. 5, 6, 7. As far as they're going to get. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that the only 2 batteries? It's the only 2 I sort of remember. That is part of the problem. There are so many units floating around. These 3. Can they move? Don't think they can. I better double check for memory's sakes. Okay, so these 3 units can activated with the the chip we're currently using, wherever the actual proper unassigned, there we go. But they can't leave the Pittsburgh landing until 10 a.m. So that's what they're sitting there for at the present moment. So that's the unassigned done. Unassigned done. Let's draw the next chit, see what we get. Prentice. Right, well, we know there's not much of Prentice left, is there? He was getting a bit of a drubbing. But he does have this cavalry over here as well. But Miller's brigade is down to 1 regiment. Peabody's is down to 1 regiment. And they've lost their artillery. I think they need to fall back. So we need to change some orders. Yeah, well, let's see if we can change some orders. So currently, that's orders fine for Peabody. We want to change Miller's from attack. And we don't need a 6 effectively. A 9, that's good. So that's now flipped. And flipped again. And we can get rid of the change orders for him. There we go. All right, so we can start pulling back a bit. Doing withdrawal movement. They're disordered, but we don't want to stand there disordered. I think we need to pull back. This will be their second action. Well, that's what we should check. How many activations do they actually have in the pot? The Prentice got efficiencies 3. This will be his second. So they do have another one. Yeah, they need to pull back. So they're going to do withdrawal movement, which allows them to go back 2 hexes effectively. 1, 2. As a withdrawal movement. Just double check that. Okay, so yeah, they can do. Units under either advance or attack orders may use withdrawal movement as their movement for the activation. When using withdrawal movement, a unit moves backwards, rear hexes only, as we've just done, a maximum of 2 hexes. It may not extend or retract, so I couldn't retract those, so they stay as they are. Now, and then there's a special here. So under the standard rules, if any hex the unit enters costs more than 1 movement point, the unit undergoes a UDD. Because the woods are so prevalent, but they're not as thick underground, they're only 1.5, there's a special rule in the into the woods that allows them to go back and only do that UDD if it costs more than 2 movement points. Okay. So that's that unit. Fine. Right. We know the brigade is combat ineffective. It's not. Don't want Prentice. We want Peabody. That's Peabody's unit. Okay. And that's the only unit he's got on the board at the present moment. Miller, his unit's going to do a draw, and again, it can only go through its rear hexes. So that's him done. Right. We're going to put Prentice between the two. And then the cavalry. See, I was planning to do a cavalry charge with these guys. However, that looks like fighting against Thunder. So we're going to put them on the flank of Peabody's units. So let's... Wrong way. That's 3. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 8. So let's put them both there. Still under advance orders. Well, that almost looks like a line, doesn't it? For a whole division. That's not looking very good. All right. And that's Prentice. Yeah, he's got no artillery anymore, has he? I'll bring that a little bit closer. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's clear that up. And oop, wrong chart. I want the kepi. So let's close that. Draw pools. All right, let's Prentice to go there. Who's next? Hindman. Hindman. That's Hardy's court. Hindman is here. Okay. What is he actually going to do? So how many he doesn't look like he's had any activations so far. Let's just confirm that. No, he's had none. And he's got 2 in there. Why he's got efficiency of 3? Why is there 2? Can't remember. Why is there only 2 being put in the pot if he's got an efficiency of 3? Is it because he was out of command? There we go. He was out of command. That answers that question. Right, so he's only got 2. Union are falling back. I think it might be time to... I mean, if you look at his command, it does look a bit done in, doesn't it? Okay. All right, let's do this. So Wood, he's under attack orders. We're quite happy with that. Let's move forward. So where's his units? Because he's the blue. He's got his artillery over here, some cavalry over here. He's got some infantry all over the place, aren't they? All right. Let's try and put them back in some form of semblance of line. So, do we want to change any orders? Let's double check there. I don't think so. No, no order changes. So, what are those? That one there. Okay, that's it's half rounded up. So, see, that's unit. He's out of command of his actual leader. So they're only going to get one activation, same as this one. So this is it. All right, so that's Wood himself moved. I'm going to have to put an A1 on him to show he's had one activation. And you know what? I'm going to have to do it for these two units to remind me that they've actually had their one activation that they're allowed. The artillery, they were out of command, and that cavalry was out of command. So they've got one activation as well. Okay, let's move the artillery up. 3, 6, 3, 6. Let's turn those guns a little bit. Is that musket armed cavalry? Interesting. Right, I think that's that particular brigade done. So that's Wood done. And he's had his first activation. That's quite a big brigade, isn't it? Well, we've got a fair few regiments. Okay, then we've got Shaver's brigade. Which we sort of want to be here-ish. So let's 1.5, 3. 1.5, 3. Let's move Hindman out the way for the moment. 1.5, 3. Okay, let's move these boys up. Oh, why it does it sometimes, I don't know. 1.5, 3. So it's just generally reorganizing themselves. Shaver himself can get to there. His attack. This cavalry here, the reason why it's got the little yellow mark is to show it is attached to Shaver's brigade. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. I'll put Hindman. Now Hindman's got a command range of 5. We want him to be a little bit more over this way, sorry, this way, for Hardy to keep him under control. So let's move him to the road there. Oops, this unit here is part of that brigade. So we're going to do withdrawal movement for him. Oh, we can't change facing, can we? He's only going to get one activation, so he's got to activate now. So that's 3. That's 1. That's as far as he goes. Yeah, they're all part of Claiborne's. Okay, that's Claiborne's artillery. This is Claiborne's. They all got a little bit mixed up and higgledy-piggledy, didn't they? Okay, well, what Claiborne's was moving to attack is now gone. Cleburne is under attack orders. They were in command because they can be independently commanded by Hardy directly, which they were. So I think they carry on pushing. Okay, well, there's no point doing a preemptive strike here. We know these guys can't move. This guy's low ammo, and there's a camp here, but there's also a camp there. Infantry camp hex. So let's have him move into there, change his facing. Make sure I get the right button. That's 1.5. That's a free facing change. So he can't resupply ammo if he's moved, so he's not disordered. Is it worth him firing there? An interesting question, isn't it? Is it worth him firing there? Because we could change his facing one more time, but then exposing. No, I think we'll keep that as it is. Right, so this infantry unit with muskets, free facing change, 1.5. 3. Okay, they are going to fire into that hex there. So it's +2 for muskets. The intention here is not to shock at the present moment, but it is +2 for muskets, -1 for firing into the woods. So it's net +1. Especially if you roll like that. Net +1. Okay, there are 6 increments firing. That's the 2. That's a D-1. Okay. Everyone else G5. Well, that's not a good start, is it, for them? Okay, so they flip. Right, they do get a shot off, though. Rifled muskets. That's +1. And they were in good order at the time, so it gives them another +1 for prep fire. So that's +2. But they're firing into the wood, so it's +1. They're rolling a 2 with 6 increments. So D-1. 6 take away 5. Okay, that might now change. Might be worth actually doing a shot there. Right, now this artillery, if we move it forward, it takes the risk. Plus, is running the guns. Yeah, there's always this risk. Artillery just can't move as close as you would like it to. Um, Unless stacked with or adjacent to friendly infantry or cavalry, artillery cannot move within 3 hexes of enemy mounted cavalry. Fair enough. Okay. Following any approach fire, artillery ending its move within 3 hexes. Okay, so it's already got there and line of sight of enemy units. So at the present moment, it's not in line of sight. You're going to, but I want to move into that hex there. I move into that hex. It's within 2 hexes and line of sight. So artillery ending its move within 2 hexes and line of sight of enemy units adds 2 to the DRM for a U. So they're going to do a UDD with a 2 DRM. And it will count as 2 units within their line of sight. So they will add +2, so it'll be +4. It's not worth the risk. I know they could get an artillery shot, but it really, honestly, is not worth the risk. So they're going to have to clear that move. Yeah, artillery is good for the defense, but offense, not so good. Right, that one there moves. That's 3, 1, 2.5. This unit. 3, 1, 2. Yeah. Yeah, they're coming from the 3. That's 3. Right. Cleburne himself. Does he want to lead? He can get there. He's a good leader. He is a good leader, and he's aggressive. Yeah, go on, Cleburne. You know you love it. 1, 1.5, 2.5. Okay, so this unit here wants to get across this swamp, and that's pretty much as far as he's going to go. He doesn't disorder. So actually, no, that's not quite right. That is 1.5, 2.5. There he goes. The artillery. I better mark him to show he's had 1 activation because he's going to have 1 less than the rest of the brigade. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Artillery coming up. Is that all of Cleburne's units? By the looks of it, it is. Right. Okay, so I better mark Cleburne with an A1 at the present moment, even though he's not finished yet, so I'll put that there for the moment. Right, with his attack orders. I wasn't planning to attack here, but the opportunities now come. So it's a big ask, but they could buckle. So let's push. Okay, so we're going into the block sequence. I will get the right charts and tables. We know there's a lot for this game, but there we go. So we're designating one. It's not perform retreat before shock. Now they could, because they're under advance orders. We haven't had to do this before. Let me check. Okay, so it says disorder units may retreat before infantry shock, after which they undergo a UDD, and if the unit fails, consult the second disorder table. Considering their morale's only 3, and they're a bigger unit, they might as well try and stand and fight. So they're going to try and stand and fight. Green attacker commitment. Is that a green Confederate unit? It is. So they might not even go. 7. Cleburne gives them down to a 6. So Cleburne basically pushes them in. Good patrol. Cleburne actually came and reinforced, joined the attack, didn't it? So they go in. Defenders pre-shot cohesion check. So per leader, that's a -1. Disordered, +1. That's it. Great roll. Union +1. They stand. So, see? Okay. So they give off some shots. Right. So third, 6 of them. Rifle muskets +1. Disordered. -0. -1 because they're firing into the woods. Net -1. 5. That's a natural 5, so they become ammo low, or in this case, ammo depleted. And then so that 5 becomes a 4. That's a little d. They pass. So the firing was ineffective, other than depleting their ammo. Okay, then we go to the shock. Right. Pre-shock, resolve shock. Determine shock DRMs. Okay, odds ratio. So there's 9 of them attacking 13. So it's 1 to 1.5. Or is it? 9 to 13. Yeah, it's less than 1 to 1.5. So, and it rounds in the favor of the attacker. That becomes 1 to 1. So there's no modifier. Any defender disordered? They are disordered. Charge benefit. They're not charging. Stacked with an aggressive leader. They are stacked with an aggressive leader. Terrain chart. Woods has no effect. Right. Any attacker disordered? They're not disordered, are they? No. Right, that's it. It's a net +2. I rolled, but it didn't go to the bottom. That's a 2. Becomes a 4. Bloody standoff. Each side loses 1 strength point. Total knock from each unit. And is disordered. If more than one unit is involved on one side, apply the step losses to the unit with the highest cohesion rating. Okay, so it's a bloody standoff. So each side takes a step loss. Right, so they're on 9. There's their marker. Right, I've got the rules in my hand, which means my hands are full. All on that, so I've just got to increase that. That becomes an 8. Right. I put the 8 facing the right way. Right. And because they've taken a strength loss, we have to roll for Cleburne. He's fine. Okay. This unit. Okay, so it's a 13. Well, right. And I have to roll for Stuart. And he's fine too. So only on 0. Okay, but they've got to take that's a second disorder. Because I've already disordered. So what does it say? Shock results table. So they've got to do another UDD. If they pass, they lose an S strength point and retreat 2 X's. If they fail, unfortunately, they rout. That's a 6. Their morale is 3. Stuart gives them a bonus, which is cancelled out by the unit. That unit routs. Okay, with that unit routing, we have to check this unit, which is adjacent. 2. They go, yeah, what? Who routed? Stuart moves over to that unit. This unit we'll have to remove. So let me tidy that up. Okay, as the Union unit routed, they can advance. The hex was cleared, so they can change their facing. Right. But they take another disorder at the end of the combat. Second case disorder. It's not a shock table result. Automatic post shock disorder, they lose a strength point. As I think it says the rule books, class them as stragglers. Okay, let's keep that sort of in and around that brigade. I think that is everything done. All right. Okay, so I'm going to draw the next chit and then call it the end. Mr. Wallace will be up next. Okay. Let me bring this back up at the top and let's have a little bit of a chat. Well, that was a little bitty itty bitty video, wasn't it, really? Because we had Sherman, not much units left. We had Prentice, not much units left. Unassigned, not many units at all. And then we had Hindman with basically reorganising or trying to reorganise line, apart from Cleburne, who start. Well, I wasn't going to go into melee there, but it proved in the end quite effective. That Union morale, that extra +1 doesn't really help them, their cause. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you enjoyed that by doing the likes. Subscribe if you haven't done so already and you enjoy what I do. And as I've always said, any comments much appreciated. Also, please share. Please share this with people that you think might be interested in the great battles of the American Civil War. Maybe they'll go through the whole of the other 56 videos. It's a big ask, isn't it? But yeah, I've been there, and so have you been there. So maybe they will. Maybe they won't. But I hope you're enjoying it. And if you are, please just let me know and keep watching. It's what I'm doing it for. I'm not just doing this just to talk to myself. I am talking to you guys. Honestly. Until next time, play games, have fun. And if you haven't got this one, get it to the table. Get it. It's great. I'm loving it. You just play the smaller battles because this is why I'm playing on Vassal, because it has a big footprint. But there are some smaller scenarios too. So have fun. Bye, Internet.